Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to Didi Under Budget. I'm Didi. I'm a 27-year-old South African cash stuffer. On this channel, we do budgeting, sinking funds, savings challenges when we have the extra cash to do so, and we also do some debt tracking. If you're interested in knowing what happened with my April salary, stay tuned. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to go through the budget and then we'll do the cash stuffing right afterwards, right? So firstly, I want to apologize for, the long breaks I'm taking in between. Guys, I am a senior at work this year. We'll talk more about that in another video. I plan to do a get to know me. My birthday is coming up very soon, and I think that's one video that I want to drop for my birthday. But yeah, and I'm coaching juniors at work, which basically means that I have to complete my work at home. I don't have time to edit. Like I have filmed the video that is probably going to be posted before this one. I filmed it already. I just don't have time to edit it. So please just bear with me. But I will try to keep the I've filmed so much actually. I've also filmed the grocery haul, but I don't have time. I don't have time to edit and post, but I'm going to try. But follow me on Instagram. I am a little active over there, a little, but it is what it is. Let's get into our salary, right? So for the month of March, I worked overtime and I was also traveling for work. So I got paid overtime and traveling for work. This is probably the most I've ever gotten paid from my job, right? And it sucks because I have so much debt that I am unable to enjoy the money. But let's get into this budget, right? So my salary is 15,200, as we all know. Overtime I got paid, it was around 5,000 rands, but after tax it was 4,000 rand. In terms of travel claim, over traveling, I got 4,854, and then I took out 500 rands to put towards my tithe. Then, in terms of my expenses, I have a rent for 4,115 that hasn't changed. Then I have transport. In terms of rent, sorry, it is going to increase. They are increasing our, like your sewage fees, whatever. We pay 325, right? So 325, and they are going to increase it to 450. I stay at an IHS establishment and I'm just so upset because it is over 100 rand. It's 125 rands that they're going to be charging extra. So it's going to be divided between my flatmate and I. So that is divided by 2. That's going to mean an extra 63 rand into our current rent bill. So that means that is what our rent is going to be from July, I believe, from the 1st of July. But anyway, transport is 2,500 rand. I'll be honest with you guys and say this, right? In terms of my transport, my boyfriend borrowed me his car in March. And I think you guys will see that I went over budget in March, like by quite a bit. And I think transport is one of the biggest culprits. So is food, right? But with transport, the thing is, this amount is fine if I'm using taxis, right? But when I'm using a car, and I was working very far, I was working in Parktown during that time, and I can't tell you guys where I'm staying, but I stay very far. I stay like in the north, and Parktown is in the south. So 2,500 was just not gonna cut it. I should have probably planned like 3,500 rand, because we were also working on Saturdays. That's another thing. And then there's also church on Sundays. So I kind of shot myself in the foot with this one. And it's almost like I don't have ears, right? Because I'm not changing it. But that's because I'm hoping that it will be sufficient for the next month. Also because at the time I was doing this budget, I didn't know where I'm going to be working, because like the nature of my job is just we work at different places every month, and sometimes when there is no job for you to go and work at a client's, you have to go to the office, and I stay fairly close to the office, and 2.5 would be enough, and I would be left with some money left. There would be some money left over. However, when sometimes they just say to you, you're going to a client, and then so I think I should budget like 3,000 rands from May, but we'll see. Food 1,700 rand. If you know, the past couple of months I've been budgeting 1,000 or 1,100 rand towards food. So because I'm getting more money this month, I am increasing it. I wish I could make it 2,000 rand, but 1,700 is fine. And that is because I actually really do need quite a lot of things. And I've noticed that every single time I give myself 1,000, 1,100 rand, I end up going into my credit card to get more money for food. So 1,000 is not sustainable, and it just keeps me back in terms of my credit card, right? Phone contract 720 because of how I calculated it, right? Because I canceled my insurance and I was paying 1,034. When I budget I say 1,050, but that doesn't matter right now. Minus 330. So this is how much I'm actually supposed to be paying, but for some reason they're charging me 820, right? But so I had predicted that this is how much I was going to pay, because the first month after I canceled my insurance, they charged me 600 and something. Then they brought it back up to 820. And I thought, you know what, maybe it's a mistake. It will stabilize. It will go back to around 700. But it has remained at 820. And I don't know if I should call them to find out what's going on. But I'm so sick and tired of Vodacom. I'm over them at this point. Credit card 5,500 rand, and the only reason I'm not even putting more into it is because I'm going home, or I went home. I already went home for end of April. I went home around the 26th of April. I took a whole week off, but I'm telling you guys, since coming back to work, I feel like I'm paying for that week I took off. Like, wow. Then there's clothes, right? I'm paying back my Foschini 2,000 rand. But guys, not be alarmed, my Foschini is not going to end this month, right? I had like a balance of 2,600, I think, and I was supposed to finish it in end of May with that 600 rand. However, when I got home, I found that my baby sister did not have clothes, and guys, like, it was just a whole situation. She was getting bullied by the kids because of the kind of clothes she was wearing and all of that. So I took her to Foschini, and I also took her to Jet to go get some clothes. At Foschini we got like 2 items worth like 600 rand, I think. We did the most of our spending at Jet. Got her, she's in grade 7, got her like nice dresses and pants and denim jackets, things that her peers wear, And I have another sister actually. She's currently in school, but she saved up some money and she bought her like Vans, because they were also like making fun of her that she doesn't have label. Like, guys, kids are so mean, right? But it is what it is. For the restoration of the dignity of my home, I will do anything, guys. Like, I'm sorry, and I've actually been reading on Black Tax, right? Or listening to some lady, I'll put her name up here. She wrote a book about how to handle Black Tax and all of that and all of that. I don't think, in my case particularly, that I'm gonna have a problem with Black Tax in the long term. I think it is a short-term problem, because my parents are able to do everything. It's just that everybody's just heavily indebted right now, and we're all working together to get out of it. We are making conscious decisions. We are like literally sitting down as a family, having a look at our debt, looking at what we can knock down first and everything. So there is an effort to just get out of debt collectively as a family. But I am the one who has a little bit of more money, flexible, um, you know. So, and that is why I am able um to do things like this, right? Then debt. Guys, last month I spent so much money between March and April from my boyfriend's money. So my boyfriend has like money that he left with me. And guys, I've just been spending that money. I actually went to go and have a look, and the amount of money I spent from his money is insane. not only was I spending money from my credit card, but I was also spending money from his card. So I'm repaying the money, right? But also here, I went and bought clothes before I went home. I went home on the 26th, and that's the day I got paid. So I just went and I bought clothes for like 1,500 rand. I bought pajamas, loungewear, slippers. I bought just clothes that I could wear on a Sunday. Not a lot. 1.5 of this is the clothes, and then 1.5 is me repaying him. And then electricity, budgeting 500 for that. Internet used to be 220, but I did contact them and I basically doubled the amount of internet they used to give me. They gave me 40 gigs at night and 40 gigs during the day for 220, but I can get double for 250, and that will be perfect because currently with the 40 gigs I am spending so much of it that at end of the month, one of the things that gets me to tap into my credit card is the fact that I need data and all of that. So for an increase of 30 bucks, I think it is worth it because I'm getting double the amount of data. Policies 240, and then bank charges 100 rand. One thing that I am going to start putting into my bank charges is my Google subscription. It's like over 50 rand now, and I think, you know what, it deserves a spot here. It deserves a spot here. And if I don't budget for it, sometimes it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. I forget about it, and then my card or my balance becomes I have an I have like a in like there's insufficient funds, and it's always bouncing and what and what and what and what. So yeah, we don't need any of that right now. The nice stuff, sinking funds. January is currently at 600, so I'm going to be putting 400 so that it is fully funded. I have the cash to do that this month, and that is what I want to do. Valentine's Day is getting 50 as usual. Easter, that's the money that I used to go home. I was planning on spending 1,100. I'm actually going to film a video where I show you guys my breakdown of how much I spent so far. Then Christmas is 150 as usual. Sister 1 and 2 are getting 50 bucks each. 400 rand for self-care. I went and got my nails did. I'll put a picture because it's been a while now since I've come back home. Since I've come back, when I went home, that's when I did my nails. So that was 400 rand. No, and it's not 400 for all these nails. It's 400 for these and for my toes. My snowball is getting 200, or was supposed to get 200, and then my emergency fund was supposed to get 400. But the issue is I overspent when I was home, so unfortunately that is going to be the sacrificial lamb, or you know what they say, robbing Peter to pay Paul. And then church is getting 100 rand. So let us get into our cash stuffing. But you guys will see the spending in the next video. Let's get into our cash stuffing. So these are the only two denominations we have this month. We've got a bunch of 50 rands and a bunch of 100 rand. Let's count and see how much we have, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000 rands. Actually, let me just put it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1,500 rand. 51, 52, 53, 54, 4,500. Right? 51, 52, 53, 54, 400 rand. I'm right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I am right. So we've got 1,900 rand. This was 1,500. This was 400. So it's 1,900 rand. Right. Let's start with our sinking funds finder. I'm actually filming this at 3 in the morning because I have work to do today. My manager's coming to the office. Child. So she's coming to see us and the progress on the work, and it is what it is. So I did come up with I made my own dashboards. I just need to punch holes into them, but obviously this one is going to go in there because it's for saving funds. This one is for sinking funds, so it will come after here, and then this one is for expenses, so we'll come in here. All right, so let me put these to the side. Let's start. All right, firstly, let's start off with taking money from Easter, because when I was going home I forgot to take out the money that was in here, and we are going to also put that towards our cash stuffing. I believe it must be 200 rand. Yes, got 200 in here. We're going to put that into as part of our cash stuffing, and then let's begin. This year I hardly ever have 20 rands and 10 rands left over, because I'm using my boyfriend's car and I'm not using a taxi. So in here we're going to put 200 rand. This 200 rand that is coming from Easter, because the money that I had planned to use for groceries is finished, but I do not want to end up going into my credit card. So I think this is the best thing to do, is to take the money that was left over in there and put it in here, because I know I'm going to use it. Right. Transport, I think transport is going to be getting 1,100 rand, but I'm not so sure because I have spent the money already. So let's first continue. Yeah, I think it should be getting 1,100 rand. I don't know, we'll come back to it. Let's continue. January is getting 400 rand. Let's get it the 1, 2, 3, 4, the older bills, because it's going back to the bank anyway. I am going to be putting a placeholder in here. Right, so currently it has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 950, 1,000. It has 1,000 rand. January, this is money that we're going to use for our groceries in January 2025, along with the money that I'll be getting in December. I'm going to add 1,500 to this, so it'll be 2,000 rand. Off camera, I will exchange this for 1,000 rand placeholder. I just don't know where I'm going to get my placeholders now, but I'm so excited. I'm going to take this to the bank. I'll probably put a screenshot of the money in the bank. Valentine's Day is getting 50 bucks. Yay, guys, one milestone reached, and we like that. We like to see that. In Valentine's Day, we currently have a 200 rand. That makes it 250. Easter is not getting anything this month. We'll start again end of May. Christmas, and when we start end of May, we'll probably start with like 100 rand, 150, because this is now becoming a long-term project, whereas I was putting 500 into it because it was more short-term. Right, Christmas is going to get 150 as it usually does. I'm probably going to increase Christmas since January is fully funded, because I do want to have north of 3,000 rands for Easter. I want to have more than 3,000 rands. I actually want 5,000 rands if I'm being honest. Sorry, for Christmas. So I'm going to bump it up. I'm probably going to add, right now it's 150, right? I'm probably going to add 100 rand to it and make it 250. 200, 3, 4, 5, 6, 650, 700, 750. We are currently at 750. Yes, that makes sense. We were at 600 last month, and we are at 750 this month. Sister one is getting a 50 bucks. So with the addition of this 50 bucks, sister one has 150, 250. So yeah, she's got 250 now. the money does grow. It grows like, because now we are in, this is for my April paycheck, and it's already at 250, and all I do is add 50 rands every single month. I like that, considering that I did start end of December. Sister 2 is going to be a little more than the last time we spoke, and the reason is, remember the coins that I had coins here. I went and I did exchange them, and I got like a 180 for all the coins I exchanged. So she has more than Sister 2, but that is fine, because Sister 1, she's gonna have her grade 7 farewell at the end of the year, and I wanted to buy her some clothes, right? So she's also getting a 50 bucks. With the addition of this 50 bucks, Sister 2 is currently at 100, 250, 350, 20, 40, 60, 80. So that's what, 330, if I'm not mistaken. That's 250 plus 80. No, it's not 250, it's 300. Oh my goodness. 100, 200, 250, 300, 350, 350 plus 80. It should be 430, right? 350 plus 80. 430? 430. Yes, it is 430. Right? The money's coming up nicely. I think I'll be able to, get her clothes. If I do not get her clothes, we'll probably get her like a Nike sneaker. But yeah, that will be it. And then church is getting 100 rand. Church currently has 400 rand in this case. I think I want to exchange this 100 rand here for a newer one, because that money is going to petrol. So with the 100 rand that we've included here, church now has 400 rand. It makes sense. April is the 4th month, and I've been putting 100 rand into it each month, and now it's at 400 rand. With church, somebody had asked me what's the difference between my tithing and my church sinking funds. My tithing is just I put money away so that I can tithe. So I've been putting, the first couple of months, the money that I put away, I basically tithed when I went home. And then, but it's not correct, guys. Like, don't take it from me, because tithing is supposed to be 10% of your income. But I put away a certain portion, and then when it gets to 10% of my income, I go and I give it to my church. So with my, I did now give it to my church when I went home. But yeah, I am going to start putting away money to give away at my church at the end of the year. There are 2 churches that I want to give the tithing to, so I want to make 1,750 times 2. Yeah, 3,500 rand at the end of the year. And then the church envelope, I want to do a Thanksgiving at church, like Thanksgiving lunch for the people at church. And yeah, so this is what I'm building it up to. I think when I do have more money, though, I need to bump it up a little more, because having 1,200 rand for lunch at a church is not going to be enough. That's probably going to be enough just to buy meat, and I have a whole menu that I'm trying to put together and everything, and I think everything will be relatively cheap. It's going to be like a Sunday food type of thing. Everything will be relatively cheap, except for the meat. So right now, that's the one thing that I need to concentrate on, is just trying to build as much money for the meat. Right, and then whatever's left in here is going towards transport. It should be 1,100 rand, but let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9,950, 1,000, 1,050, 1,100 rand. So we are right, 1,100 rand going into transport. So that brings us basically to the conclusion of our cash stuffing for this month. Fortunately for this month, we do not have any extra money that we can put into our 10 rands and 20 rands envelope. We also kind of like overspent on other categories, so the money that was supposed to go into personal savings and emergency fund is gonna go, unfortunately we forfeited that because, you know, it is what it is. Once I'm done paying off my credit card, it's going to be a little easier to focus on paying on saving money, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine with me. We are not so far away from that. Actually, tune into or go to my Instagram page. In my Instagram page, you will actually see I put up after I paid my money, after I paid in April, I put up a post giving an update on how much I owe so far. So that brings us to the conclusion of this month's cash stuffing, sinking funds, budgeting video. And I just want to tell you guys that, you know what, like, I'm just a girl trying to like stay under budget. It is difficult with the amount of times like everything is so expensive, so it's difficult. And I think my biggest problem is that I do not adjust my money to basically fit in with what's going on at the current time, right? However, I think we're gonna do better. We're gonna keep doing better and getting it right. But for now, I just want to remind you, the same way I am just a girl who is just trying to stay under budget, I want to remind you to stay under budget. Bye. That's all I got in the end. That's what I found out. And it ain't no need to cry. I took a vow